Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Unity of Billings. How wonderful it is that we're all here together. Nice. Would you all like to join me in our opening song? Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel His mighty power and His grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Nice. I always get tingles when I sing that song. Good morning. Our Sunday services are being live streamed. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for helping to support our Unity ministry. We have a couple of options. You may go to PayPal or unityofbillings.org and or be here with us in the real, which is always a pleasure. Yes, right. Gold bullion. I mean, we could do that.
It's not crypto.
Yeah, it's not crypto. Yeah, we don't take crypto. No, we don't. No. Well, for the announcements, yesterday we had one of the celebrations for our Continuum 100-year celebration for Unity of Billings. We were at Polly's place on 1704 Polly Drive. Oh my gosh, what fun. And Charlene has an announcement for us. And yes.
Yes. Well, I just want to thank everyone because it was enormously successful. It just was great. We had a ton of volunteers. You know, it took a village to make this happen. It did. It really did, and we had a great community. And if we had more people here, I would ask them to stand up to say who helped, but Leslie did a great job on the keys. Wonderful, wonderful. We had homemade scones, English cucumber sandwiches, lavender bread. We had gluten-free food for people, and we had a great raffle. And I want to thank Alice Carpenter for putting that together because she did a marvelous job of doing it, and it was just great fun.
It was so much fun. Thank you, Charlene, for chairing that wonderful event. That turned out really, really well. Very nice. Everything was delicious. I ate a lot. It was really good. The tea was off the hook, so good. Leslie brought a peppermint tea and a hibiscus rose tea that she brewed that was just divine. It was so good. I think I had 5 cups of it. It was so good. You made a lot of tea, yes, and then I took some home. So thank you, everyone that was involved. It turned out to be really, really nice. Yeah, Susan, thank you for the loan of your ice chest and the plates and the cups. Those were so fun, so cute. And yeah, Robin brought some little table decorations full of candy, as it turns out. There were several that were left, and I had to eat the chocolate, you just said, out of all of them, because it was going to melt, right? So anyway, it was so fun. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Hey, Jane. Good morning.
Good morning.
Our June speakers today. Oh, hey, Jax. You got a haircut. Oh my goodness, look at you. Looking all dapper. So Jax is up here visiting. And in case you can't see him, Jax, come here. Hey, buddy. Come here. Look at this guy. You're looking so nice. You should. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Yes, so nice.
What do you have for me?
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Why should I? You are so handsome. I'm so happy you're here. Yes, you look beautiful in your new haircut. So obviously Marcia's here because if Jax is here, then Marcia's here. And another delight is that she is our speaker for today. So yay! And her message is stinkin' thinkin', which is, that's going to be fun. July 27th will be Reverend Edie Weigel. August 3rd will again be Reverend Edie Weigel. She's going to do a double header. So if everyone will take a moment to gather themselves, take a couple of deep cleansing breaths, get centered for the Unity Song with David Friedman.
Every prayer is answered, every prayer is heard, every thought and feeling, every spoken word, what your soul has longed for, what your heart can feel, is already here, is already real. There is no one out there is no one else. You hold all the answers deep inside yourself. There's a voice that whispers, there's no you, no me, there's just one, there's just unity. One power, one presence, one light to lead the way, all loving, all knowing, that answers when you pray. When the world looks darkest and your eyes can't see, gather all your troubles, give them all to me. I am always with you, I will always be. I am one, I am unity. We are one, we are unity.
Thank you, David. And as I light the Christ candle, is a symbol of the indwelling Christ within all of us, 24/7. And today in our gathering, our daily word today speaks of surrender. Spiritual surrender is my path to peace. We have copies of the daily word on the back table for a donation, and they are for 2 months, and they're very helpful to me. I carry one all the time just to redirect my thoughts. Spiritual surrender is my path to peace today on Sunday, July the 20th, 2025. And if you'll join me in affirming surrender. Spiritual surrender is my path to peace. It's natural to have ideas and preferences about how things should be and to work towards the results that I want. But I can exhaust myself if I attempt to exert control over my life's circumstances. In fact, the more I try, the less control I feel I have. Relate.
Yes.
Releasing the illusion of control, I practice spiritual surrender. So much more than giving up, surrendering my efforts and my hopes to the divine within me is an act of empowerment. It means living my faith that God is in and through all things. It means trusting that there are outcomes better than the ones I have imagined. I surrender to God's peace and perfection within me. I give up trying to control outcomes and relax, welcoming serendipity and ease. Surrender is the way. My child, give me your heart and let your eyes observe my ways. Proverbs 23:26. Again, join me, surrender. Spiritual surrender is my path to peace and to the path to serendipity. That's going to be my buzzword for the rest of the week. That's a great word. And if you'll join me in affirming our Unity Foundation principle, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And our Unity of Billings affirmation, crafted by our Unity chaplain, Charlene Inglis. Through divine wisdom and grace, Unity of Billings is vibrant, healing, and inclusive. And Charlene, as our Unity Prayer Chaplain, is available to pray with you if you have that desire, and just get with her and let her know what your needs are. Or you can call and make an appointment with her. Or you can write it on your little prayer request. Or you can, never mind. All right, and now the options are pretty much unlimited. As we take a moment to pray together, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. And the plate will be passed, and we will have special music.
Behind me, all the music.
That's right. Anybody know any good songs?
For the good in everyone. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. All the people who set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. People that know friends, people that know men, people that forgot the superpowers we all had. We were born to love tonight. We can decide our fate. Look for the good in everyone. Celebrate all of those days. There's a silver lining, silver lining. You still have to find it, find it, find it. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone needs sunshine. Everyone needs rain. Everyone is carrying around some kind of pain. I see who you are, just like me. I see you're searching for a purpose, guided by a dream. I see who you are, just like me. I get lost sometimes and I forget what I came here to do. I keep on trying, keep on trying. Yeah, yes, finding. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone is nature. Everyone is God. Everyone is love and light and vibration. Look for the good. Look for the good. Everyone gets mad sometimes, and maybe they should. Look for the good. Look for the good. Yeah, look out for all the heroes in your neighborhood. Look for the good. Look for the good. Life sure would be sweet if everybody would. Look for the good. Look for the people who set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone.
Awesome. What a great song. Clayton, who's that artist?
That's Jason Raz. Jason Raz, yeah.
Jason, R-A-Z?
It's hard to break glass. Right. That's a great song.
Jason,
They played it for us at retreat.
M-R-A-Z.
M-R-A-Z.
That is excellent. What a great song.
He's great.
Oh, the Don't Worry, Be Happy guy. Of course.
Now
Yeah.
you know.
Now I know. That is an excellent song. That is excellent.
I just sent it to you.
Thank you. You're the best. That is, yeah, that's a great song. I'm going to listen to that. There are several things that I heard in there that were like, yep, 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 yep.
Very good.
Nice. Yeah, everyone is God. And once we look for the good in everything, we recognize that. Our vibration picks that up instead of having the negative energy. Instead of having the stinking thinking. That's right. Well, thank you all so much for being here, and thank you for the gift of you being here, and for your tithes, for your love, for your light. This is just the best place ever. I love this place. I love this energy. As we receive your tithes and your gifts and your love, we are enriched. And our energy moves through this place, this beautiful place that we have created through Billings, Montana, through the state of Montana, and the multiverse. Yep. And so it is. Thank you very, very much. And now, speaking of stinking thinking, Marcia is going to give us some. Marcia's going to give us some wisdom, some of her wonderful wisdom on how to avoid that condition so that we can see the God in everyone and look for the good in everything. Awesome, Marcia. And Jax. And Jax.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm gonna put this up here.
Okay.
Hopefully we don't squeak. Because I'm gonna need that later. But how are we all doing today?
Great.
Fabulous. So I woke up at 5:30 this morning and I thought, this is ridiculous, you're going back to sleep. So after my travel to the bathroom, I laid back down and I laid there and I laid there and I laid there. And this is where the stinking thinking happens for me. When I don't have any time and I'm trying to relax and my brain's going, I have recently found out that some people don't have an inner dialogue at all. And I went, what? I think that I would worry that I was dead, because I have 3 or 4 going along in there all the time. So this morning it was, you're not going to be able to connect. You haven't been able to get grounded. You are not going to be able to bring up what you need to talk about. You should write this stuff down. You should be like everybody else. So that was the stinking thinking for me this morning. I finally did fall asleep for a little while, and then I woke up and thought, I gotta write stuff down. So I made myself a cup of tea, and I sat in my chair with my tea and sage. Because sage helps me get into a space where I can go back to being me, rather than hauling around all these other energies, whatever they are, talking to me and telling me that I can't do the stuff that I do every day, right? So I got out the sage and I'm burning some sage. And a song came to me, and by one of my favorite artists. His name is Ren, and probably not everybody would love his music. He's kind of on the edge, and he's a rapper. And very British, so it's kind of hard to understand what he says, but I'm gonna read some of it to you later, because the first time I saw anything from him was a song called Hi Ren. And it still brings tears to my eyes, because he's having this inner dialogue and arguing back and forth with himself, or whatever, about, I've learned how to be calm. I've learned how to be okay. I'm okay without you, without this other energy talking to him, doing the stinking thinking thing. And then that energy comes in and says, well, wait a minute, you can't shut me off. I'm part of you. If you kill me, you die, And the song goes on, and I really, really love it. I started to cry when I first heard it. And I might cry while I'm reading parts. I might cry while I'm singing part of it, but that's okay, when I know that I've reached myself again, when I am crying, when I am releasing those tears that have to do with being touched, my heart being touched, So last month, usually I'm able to rally, you know, like this morning, I was able to get back to myself and go, yes, I can do this. And I'm a happy person most of the time. But I went through last month a bit of needing to release a bunch of stuff that was old, you know, that had been, well, we used to call them records ages ago, but records that have played in my mind over and over and over again about past situations. So, you know, there's the, my dad never thought I was good enough, which my dad might have thought I was good enough. I have no idea. He just never told me that he felt I was good enough. So I was constantly trying to make my dad happy. So on and on I go trying to make my dad happy. And that's what's playing underneath a lot of different things. And I realized at some point in the last few months that over and over again in all these relationships I've had with men, I have been trying to still please my dad. I've seen pieces of my dad in each one of them, and I've been trying to please him. And so I've finally been able to hopefully let that go. You know, I think it crawls in again and again, so that we can do it again and again. But for right now, I've been able to let that go. But that stinking thinking got real big for a while. And I couldn't seem to bring myself out of it. I would at times so that I could, you know, get up and go to work, and I could get up and do my show, and I could get up and do other things, and then it would come right back as soon as I started to relax. So, things that, I love giving tangible things that you can do to get these thoughts out of your mind, because there's a lot of times when we get stuck in those things, right? I mean, even someone like me, who I am able to rally, I know that there are people that can't rally, and they can't get out of bed sometimes, you know, and I feel for those people. There have been times when I wanted to stay in bed, but no matter what it is, maybe it's God, maybe it's the spark in me, and maybe it's my mom going, you better get your butt out of bed. Whatever it is, I'm able to get up, rally myself, and get back to being normal, whatever that is, because we all know I'm not normal, right? What fun would that be, right? So, during these times, and I've gone through a lot of them, sometimes they last for a day. I mean, they last less and less now, because I've learned a lot more about myself and how to get out of these things. They used to last for a while, like a month even sometimes. And, but it was time, you know, after I grew up, you know, I had kids, I needed to be responsible. I needed to, you know, learn how to either, a lot of times when I had my kids, it would shut it down. You know, get that out of the way because I don't have time for this right now. So I put it in a box, and put it in a box, and put it in a box, and it's like Pandora's box. You lift that lid and go, what did I do? And sometimes when we do that, it shows up as fibromyalgia. It shows up as any kind of autoimmune disease. Hi, baby boy. And it shows pain in your body, pain all over your body. And it could be, I mean, at the beginning of their research on fibromyalgia, there were a lot of doctors that said it's psychological. Okay, yep, it is psychological probably, but that doesn't mean the pain isn't real. And that doesn't mean that other things aren't happening in our body. But holding on to all those things and hauling them around is really tough. When you've got this, it's not even luggage, you know, luggage is fairly easy to move now. when you got this trunk full of stuff that you're just dragging along, it really does harm your body. So, learning how to get rid of some of that stuff. I remember at the beginning of my awakening, I guess, probably around 2005, 6, somewhere in there, someone told me that I should present it as a present to God, that whole box of stuff. And I went, what? Do you know what's in there? I mean, there's all this guilt about all the things that I've done in my life. I did drugs, I did all kinds of horrible, horrible things to people. I even sold sheetrock dust to somebody one time. And that was because I thought she was a narc and I thought it was good to be arrested. So, but yeah, my life is colorful. And it still is colorful, but less illegal. Now, I still sleep in my car. But, all of these things had been collected and I was dragging all this stuff, this baggage around with me. And they said, present it to Jesus or present it to God. And I went, I don't care how much he sees. I'm not going to do that. So I sat with myself for a while and I tried to unpack that. And I tried to present some stuff to God. And some of it was, some of that was fairly successful. The part about the drugs, though, it wasn't until I saw another psychic for the first time and she said, oh yeah, you're an angel. And I went, oh no, you don't understand. I've lived a rough life, guns and stuff, I am no angel. And she said, but you've never killed anyone. And I said, correct. Not because I didn't think about killing. And she said, well, we all do that. But if you hadn't had all these experiences behind you, you wouldn't be the person that you are today. And I said, oh, well, yeah, that's true. And she said, think of all the people that you're going to be able to help because you've had all the experiences, right? So I do help lots of people, and I do help them get out of that lifestyle, get into a better lifestyle. And there are, you come to the festivals that I do around here, there's some biker chicks that have been in that lifestyle. I guarantee you, some of them may have killed someone, but we're keeping that quiet. So I don't think that's ever happened really, but they may have been involved in clubs where that did happen. And getting themselves to a point where they can forgive themselves for that lifestyle, it has been really challenging sometimes, Is there any Kleenex back here? I think I have it. There is. I've got it. Thank you. I think I have allergies going on, but my nose is constantly running and I haven't even cried yet today. So, back to how to do this. One way is sitting with sage for myself. You can use whatever smell you need. I love essential oils too because they can bring in an energy of brightness, uplifting energy. You use anything citrus and it's uplifting. Ginger helps. But you can also use the herb, you can put ginger in your smoothie in the morning if you want a smoothie. You can, while you're drinking that smoothie, I suggest that you sit with yourself and actually relax and see how you feel, see what comes up. Because digging into the depths of these things and the reason why some of those things come up, can be really useful. I mean, the church the church in general, not us, not Unity, but the church used to blame it on the devil, right? And that energy of the devil is very, very interesting. But I feel like when we give it a name like that, we give it so much more power over the top of us. So, and then that really does start to taint our whole life. I ran into a woman in a spiritual shop. She came in and she had a lot of energy. I'm not sure it was really happy energy, but she had a lot of it, and she claimed to be very happy. And she asked if she could do light language, and no, she called it speaking in tongues. So she asked if she could speak in tongues, and I said, sure, of course, I could say that didn't sound like any of the light language that I've heard before. And I'm not sure what that was, but I wasn't real comfortable with it. And neither was anybody else in the room. I kept looking around thinking, is it just me? Is the energy only, I don't even know how to, like grading against me. And it was pretty clear that other people were uncomfortable. And I thought, wow, I haven't heard anybody call that speaking in tongues for a long time. And I've heard for the last, 10, 15 years, heard it called light language. And, but I started to wonder, is there a difference between speaking in tongues and light language? I don't think it originated that way. I think that our soul language came through and other people understood it and it lifted them up. But this woman wasn't lifting anyone. She was making everybody nervous. And so I'm not sure what happened to her. I've never seen her again. But I do know that we all started singing afterwards, which is, my way of doing things. And, but it wasn't just me that started singing. Everybody kind of started singing and wanted to clear the space, and somebody went and got some sage. And, but I find it really interesting, and I hope that she's doing well. I hope that whatever she is channeling helps her in her life. I hope that happens for everybody, whatever you're channeling, and it all lifts you up. But I do think we can get into a space where it's kind of working against us. And so when it is doing that, when you are bringing up a negative energy and you have this barking chihuahua, a friend of mine calls it, in your ears going, you can't do this, you can't do this, with you thinking, you are not that good. You're bad. We can let that go. And we can move into a space of peace. Like the book was talking with, the meditation was talking about this morning. And we can live in love. And because through peace, then there is love. Because that's the way we're built. And I love it that way. I sat down and I did try to talk to this woman for a little while about love. And she had an entirely different concept of love than I did. And it kind of reminds me of when we were doing a show in an expo in Gillette, and a lot of very interesting people in black t-shirts that said, Jesus hates, and in little tiny letters, your sins, which is scary to me. That is not how I look at Jesus. And anyway, they showed up to protest our show. And we're all like, but we're on the same side, dude. We're not on opposite sides. What are you thinking? You know, and I guess that I couldn't have a normal conversation with any of them. Anytime I tried, they bombarded me. They spewed the Bible at me. There's a difference between lovingly saying, you know, Jesus says that he'll take away our sins, or to follow God, or, you know, all the myriad of things that Jesus said. And just spewing Bible verses that really mean nothing to the conversation. They're just ones that this person had memorized. And that's, in my humble opinion, that's not using the Bible correctly either. So, yeah. When I come to these situations, like that situation, there was no talking to either of them. The woman who came into the spiritualist shop, or the ones outside of the expo. There was no convincing them of our side. There was just quiet acceptance on our part. And it did bother the show organizer. She tried to call the police, and the police said, well, if they're not really hurting people, we can't do anything about it. So I understand that there might be some cities might have an ordinance that you can't protest right in front, which might be nice, but other people have asked me to protest since, and I just keep thinking of that one. I don't know that I need to put out my opinion that way. I think that my putting out my opinion in this way is a much better thing to do. Because then you have a choice, you can leave if you need to. But I don't expect you to. Because you asked me to talk for a reason, right? So, the way I handled it, yes, was just quiet. I just walked past them, tried to not get caught up in all their drama. And then I started singing as I went past, and nobody bothered to hear the singing. That was okay, but it kept me in my bubble while I was going through. So I didn't feel daggers, spiritual or otherwise, shot at me, and I didn't feel like I was being attacked at all. I just felt like I could walk through. And I took Jax out for walks and then went back in, and everything was peaceful. And the second day, they said, we'll be back. And I thought, don't y'all have to go to church? They weren't there the second day. And I don't know if it's because they actually did go to church, or if it was because they might have realized that we were all peaceful people. You know, that nobody said anything against them to make them get too riled up. I know that other people were trying to explain Bible verses that they had talked about. And there was one guy that I heard say, well, what do you think love is? And the man that had the microphone, he said, well, you know, God says that, and he read some more verses out, or spewed some more verses out of the Bible, but he said one of them was that God was smiting them. And I thought, okay, that's taken so out of context. And he was like trying to say that we were sinning and that God was going to smite us. And fortunately, you know, a lot of the people in that expo are like me. We believe in all kinds of different things, and everything works for us. And I've not had for years the pagan part of me arguing with the Jesus part of me. because it all works together. And in my world, Jesus talks to me all the time and walks with me all the time. So I don't have to worry about the fact that I created a circle with a star in it offending him. I think that I totally believe that since he's stepped inside that circle with me, and he's always been with me, that he is with me always, no matter what I do. And the more concentration we put on a ritual, no matter what that ritual is, if our intention is to raise our vibration and to connect more with God, then he's on our side. My personal belief about all the gods and goddesses is that they're aspects that we have created of the Creator. Some of them have souls to me. Some of them don't feel like they were actually ever walked the earth. So it just feels like something that we put our energy to. But when we put our energy into something, it gets bigger, right? Just like the devil does. No matter what that is. So, my suggestion in life is always put as much energy as you can toward peace, toward love, toward feeling, what did you call it earlier? Where did Linda go? She's downstairs taking care of serenity. Serendipity. That's what she said. Yes, thank you. Yes, because we can live that way. We will always probably have these other energies come in, because I love this person on whatever I was watching, probably YouTube, that said he didn't have any inner dialogue. I was like, oh, that must be very restful. But at the same time, like I said, I'd be worried that I was dead, because there's a lot going on in here all the time. So I do want to get to the part where I read some of this from Ren. Pardon me while I find everything.
Are you gonna rap?
No, I'm not. I'm not very good at that.
British rap.
Maybe we can have Clayton play it as well, but I want you to understand the words. So this is the dark part. Newsflash, I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason beheading all kings. I am sin with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist. Father of lies, Mephistopheles. Truth in a blender, deceitful pretender. The banished avenger, the righteous surrender. When standing in front of my solar eclipse, my name is stitched to your lips. So you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal, feeble and normal. You want to kill me? I'm eternal, immortal. But Ren has figured out that if he gets quiet and if he goes inside of himself, that's not what lives there, right? So he says, hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as rainfall soon runs dry, when you stand in an eye of the storm, I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand. It's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet. And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, we've met before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And you know how I know that I'll prosper? Because I'll stand here beside you today. I have stood on the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't flinch or shake. So cower at the man I've become when I sing at the top of my lungs. That I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspire the weak to be strong. And when I am gone, I will rise in the music that I have left behind. Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, we are a coin of two different sides. So then, let's see. I was going to play a bit of it anyway, but at the end, he says, when I was 17 years old, I shouted to an empty room, into a blank canvas, that I would defeat the forces of all evil. And I did this too in my personal life. I decided when I was really young that I was always going to be on God's side. But I did try. And for the next 10 years of my life, he says, I suffered the consequences with autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized that there are no real winners. There's no real losers in psychological warfare. But there are victims and there are students. It wasn't David versus Goliath, it was a pendulum, eventually swaying from dark to light. And the more intensely that light shone, the darker the shadow cast. It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax, and I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And we must not forget that we are all human. And we all go through all of this. That's my part. We all go through all of this. And, but it does live on in the things that we do. So I don't know about you, but I want to be known for somebody who spread the light, who spread smiles, pixie dust, and all kinds of fun, rather than putting out on Facebook every day how depressed I am. That's why I put Facebook. How everybody needs to pay attention to me because I'm sad, and I see that a lot. But on my Facebook feed, if I put something out, it might be because I'm upset by something, but that's because I want the world to change. And I want people to be at peace. I want the struggle, the eternal struggle that Buddhism talks about. I would like that to stop, even if it's just for a moment for people. And the best way is to be at peace, to know that we can calm ourselves. We can ask God to come in and fill us up with light, with love, and with peace. Would you like a song?
Yep.
Okay. Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good enough, and it's for the end of the day. I need some distraction, a beautiful release, memories string from my veins. Let me be empty, oh, needless, and maybe I'll find some peace tonight in the arms of the angel. Fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room, and the endlessness that you fear. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort here. You're so tired of the street line, and everywhere you turn, there's vultures and thieves at your back. The storm keeps on twisting. You keep on building lives that you make up for all that you lack. It don't make no difference. How funny. I opened my eyes and forgot the song. It don't make no difference. Making one last time. It's easier to believe in this sweet madness of this glorious sadness that brings me to my knees. In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room, and the endlessness that you fear. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent memory. You're in the arms of the angels. May you find some comfort here. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort here. So put yourself in the arms of the angel. Ask them to come around you anytime you need them. And go off and be good and happy. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, excellent. Would everyone like to circle up and do the